Hey, what is going on, everybody? I'm back. Video 64 of 365. My name is Samantha. I'm a therapist. I'm doing a video every day for a whole year to get over my fear of public speaking and social anxiety. There's my little intro. Story time really quick before I get started talking about self-concept, manifestation, and figuring out if your thoughts are in the toilet or if they're in happy land. You'll notice that I have a little cut on my lip here. I awakened at about 12:30 this morning to one of our cats running from one of our other cats, and she decided to claw me, and it woke me up, and it hurt so bad. And we have 3 cats. One is Tyson, one is Macy, and one is the Chad. And so the Chad came to us. He was the 3rd cat that came to us, and he was in the backyard. And brought him in after a couple days. That was 2 years ago. So anyway, Macy slashed me in the middle of the night. So no amount of makeup or anything can make this go away. So it's just going to be here. So we have a little friend today joining us. So, and this is one of the pitfalls of doing a video every day because there's no time to heal, a cat scratch. So, oh well, I'm just doing it. I'm here doing it. So not much of a plan today. As usual, I'm going to get better at that. I'm getting a plan together to do more structured videos, but this is where we're at today. Let's see. Well, first of all, where are your thoughts? Are they in the toilet or are they in happy land today? Where are they? What are you thinking? How are you feeling today? First of all, how have you been feeling? It's Monday. This won't go out until, 11 o'clock tonight. So just wondering, what are you feeling is blocking you? What are you feeling is stopping you from changing into the person that you know you can be, but you're maybe too scared to, or you don't like change, or you're scared of change? People say they're scared of change. What are you so afraid of? You're just going to become more of yourself. Is that what you're afraid of? Becoming more of yourself? That could be it too. You never know. Just do a check-in. Hear my words and see if anything hits you. That's the point. Maybe, this is kind of off the beaten path today, maybe. And so maybe something will hit you today. Whatever this message is, it's supposed to find you, because I'm just going to ramble and see what comes out. So check in with yourself during your day. Just keep checking in, because that's something we don't do. We are constantly doing this to-do list. And I want you to remember, a bunch of videos back, I think I said create a to-don't list. So what are you not going to do anymore? Because we add a lot onto the to-do list every day, and it's just a never-ending list, which it technically is a never-ending list, because we never get anything done because there's always something else to do, which I think is awesome. I used to live off of a to-do list, and it was just too much. It became too much. So now, I've got my Google Calendar, everything's in there. That's my brain, as I call it. And I put everything in the brain, and then I remember it. And I just stopped structuring everything as much as I used to. And I don't put as much pressure on myself to get things done. With that said, we have to show up for ourselves. You got to prioritize you, and you've got to show up for yourself. So create your non-negotiables. What are the things that you're going to do every day, and you're going to show up for you to where you can start building trust in you, and create a contract with yourself, like an internal contract. You do not have to write this down or anything, but just create it. It's like a non-negotiable is a contract with yourself, basically. And it's saying, this is who I am. So if you want to lose weight, or well, we'll start with losing weight. If you want to lose weight, you've got to come up with some sort of plan that will get you there. Or you can just start living from the end and imagine that perfect body that you want. So this is like the fast track, I believe, is just living from the end, living from it, not thinking of it, but living from it. So when you think of something, you're thinking of it. You're not really attached to it. It's just like, man, I really want that. I really want that. When you're living from the end, it indicates to your brain and your subconscious mind that you already have it and you already are it. So you want to live from it. Live from the end. What would the end look like if you wanted to lose weight? or you wanted $1 million, or you wanted to be married, what would that look like? What is that end? Because what happens is if you visualize an end scene in your mind before you go to sleep, your subconscious mind will grab a hold of it at some point. And it will think that you're actually this person. So the goal is to just feel better, really. You can practice this during the day or at night. But during the day, it's just to like generate a better feeling inside of you, because during your day, you're probably noticing that you are kind of on a roller coaster sometimes. Sometimes you feel really, really good. And then other times you feel down. And I've noticed this within myself, just on purpose, just noticing. I'll be like, man, I started to feel down a little bit. And you can feel it more. When you're more aware of it, you can feel it, which means if you can feel it and you're aware of it and you're conscious of it, you can actually make a change. And that's what we want. We want to change something. And then that creates a change. Change creates change, of course. And if you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting another result, it's going to be insanity, as we know. So we don't want to go that route. We've got to, if you want something different, you have to change. If you think the same way, you're always going to get the same things. So remember that this is a total mindset shift. And so when you think from the end, it's like, how would you, if you had what you're wanting, how would you think? What would you think about? Because what happens is when your brain and body start to believe that you are this person, you start to think differently automatically. So you don't really have to change too much. You just start thinking automatically. This is actually the shortcut, I feel like, to everything, because you don't have to dig into your old beliefs and all this stuff. But I think there is something to that. I think it's very important to just get to know you and what you're thinking on a daily basis and what your beliefs are. I think it's kind of fun to dig into yourself too. So you can do that and change your beliefs, which I think is very powerful, and or do the SATS technique that Neville Goddard talks about, which is state akin to sleep. It's the state right before you go to sleep. Some people call it the drift. You're just kind of like drifting off into sleep almost. And your brain is very, very open at that point to suggestions. So suggest to it something that you want to have happen, whatever that is, and really feel it. Pretend like you are that person. Just pretend before you go to bed. Say, I am this person. What is so wrong with pretending? What is so wrong with rehearsing something that might not be true yet, but it makes you feel good now? Why not do that? Just do it. Just have fun. Nike, just do it. Just do it. Try it. What do you have to lose? Nothing really, because you might be losing stuff right now. There's a cost to everything. So if, there's pain associated with a cost at times too. But there's pain if you don't change something. So sometimes we're comfortable with that with that pain. We're addicted to that feeling. And we're addicted to our comfort zone. So it does take a on purpose shift over into, remember the two lives. There's old life, old self, new life, new self, old man, new man analogy. And you're either thinking from that old self or you're thinking from the new self. And the goal is to deny what your senses are telling you about this first life that you got here. Deny the senses. Yes, it's true. It's there. You can see it and you've accepted it as true. But then you've got to deny that and shift your awareness to what your vision is. If you created a scene in your mind last night and you fell asleep with it, then you created a memory. So tonight, you can go back to that same scene and your brain and body are like, oh, we remember this from last night. Oh, that's pretty cool. Like, we remember this. And that memory will generate a feeling in you, a feeling state, which means you just changed your state. And that's all you have to do. You just change your state. And after time, you start to shift into that new identity, which is so cool. Nobody is doing this to you. You're creating this. You're doing this. And that means you have all the empowerment that you need to make any change that you want. You can create anything you want. You just have to deny what you're seeing You just say, yeah, it's there, but I'm going to shift my awareness over here to something that I actually really, truly would rather focus on. And you have to believe in the invisible. That's really what faith is, believing in something that technically you can't see right now. Technically, maybe doesn't even exist right now just because you can't see it. But you have to believe in something that you can't see. And do you have the power to do that? Do you believe you can do that? That's the only thing that is stopping you, is your belief that you can't do that. And I'm here to tell you, you can do that. You can do anything. But if you say that you can't, you're right. You can't, because you're saying you can't. Do you see how easy, how subtle that is if we just shift some words around and we start to just say, oh, I can do that, or what if I can, or wouldn't it be nice if I could do that? Wouldn't it be so nice if I could do that? Oh man, how would that feel? That would feel so good. Well, maybe I should start doing that. It's almost like you have to talk yourself into getting out of self-sabotage. Just tell yourself like, oh, wow, I'm sabotaging. I'm totally sabotaging this myself. I'm doing this to myself. I'm doing this. I did it yesterday. Still doing it today. Man, I might need to shift these thoughts. How can I do that? Starts with one thought. What can I change today? Maybe start saying something. I recommend saying, like, just for fun, all of this should be fun. Say something to yourself that is totally not, like, it's the opposite of where you're at right now. If you have $0 in your bank account, start saying, I'm a millionaire. I'm a CEO of my own company and I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire CEO. And you have negative $0 in your account. Just like start saying something that you would really want to be, that maybe you totally feel like you're not there now. And start believing bigger than you've ever believed in your life, ever. Start thinking limitless. That type of thinking will start to get the ball rolling. And the main thing is, in the moment, just to feel good, feel happy, and feel like, oh, wow, that would be so cool if that could happen to me. Wow, that would be so neat. Well, it's happened to these other people. Why couldn't it happen for me? Only because you don't believe it. That's the only reason why. If you start to believe, what happens is, and Neville calls it the bridge of incidents. So people, places, opportunities, events, things just come out of nowhere. Like you'll get an email or a text from somebody. That happened to me today. I got like a free item in my email, $10 free, $5 free. And these are from like previous like orders I had made and stuff. And all three of these free items came to me today. Very small, but still abundance. And then I had a brand new client text me, and then another person that I had texted a couple weeks back. And I just thought of them recently, and I was like, oh, I haven't heard from them yet. And then boom, got a text. And then it was right after I got a new client referral, like right after. So total abundance just unlocked really fast because all of those things came in at around the same time. It was very, very interesting. And so it's like, if you just make a mental shift on purpose, just to try this, and you just keep doing it, because not only are you having fun doing it, but it's making you feel better in the moment just to do it, because that's the whole game here. We want to feel good. Why would you not want to feel good? And so you're just doing it to feel better, and then do it on purpose to experiment with yourself and just be like, man, I wonder what could happen if I did this on a daily basis. What would happen? And those people and events and opportunities just kind of start lining up, and they'll come out of nowhere, because come out of nowhere, as Esther Hicks always says, comes out of people say it comes out of the blue, and she's like, it's out of the oblivious is what it really is, because it's all kind of lined up for you. It's all right there. We just can't see it visibly, because when you're in a state, like say you're on 92.1 FM, so this is a mental state of, I'm in procrastination right now. So that's 92.1. And then over here on 97.5 is this abundant mindset, and you're not procrastinating anymore, and you're actually doing, and you're taking action. When you're doing that, your state completely shifts, your frequency shifts, and you can start to see the opportunities. Whereas over here, if you're in procrastination and you're in doubt and you're in complaining mode, you literally cannot see those things around you. And so that's why we want to shift the state over to where we can actually see these things, because they actually do exist. And so, and I wanted to talk about complaining really quickly too. Complaining is such an addiction that I think just everyone has at some point. We really do look, I won't say everyone, I won't be that general, but a lot of people complain, and it's kind of just innately like programmed into us, I think, just society. We always have something to complain about. And I want you to start flipping that every day. Like, notice when you're complaining and then say, oh yeah, I don't complain anymore. Because if you complain, you can start telling yourself, wow, I'm identifying as a complainer right now. I don't want to be that. Who do I want to be? I want to not complain anymore. Okay, I want to be this person that appreciates. Because remember, what you appreciate appreciates. So what you're complaining about, it's almost like everything that you're complaining about is just like taking you down with it, down with the ship. You got a leak. You got a leaky boat. You got a leak in your ship. It's taking you down with the ship, and you got to be real careful with that, because you can't get to where you're wanting to go in a leaky boat, can you? It's going to eventually, sink, and then, well, we got the Titanic kind of thing going on there. You don't want to deal with all that. So you want to go where you have this beautiful boat or yacht that is just floating down the water, wherever you are. And you're just enjoying the ride as you go that way. So complaining will not get you to the yacht. Think of it that way. It will not get you a yacht. It will not get you... Complaining is keeping all of your stuff from you. Complaining is keeping your new job from you, your new love from you, your self-concept, your self-esteem. It's keeping that in a lowered state to where you can't access a higher state of consciousness at all. It's keeping your new home from you. It's keeping your money from you. It's keeping your health from you too. Complaining actually, studies have shown that complaining actually hurts our health. Laughter, as we know, is the best medicine. And so I'm going to try to start putting some funny stuff into my videos a little bit here and there, and maybe tell some jokes, some dry jokes. And I love dry jokes. They're funny to me. But just something to get your mind shifted a little bit, because that's what I feel we need. We need a shift. We need some laughter. We need some fun. We need some just like ease, and go back to that childhood wonder that we don't have anymore as adults very well. We don't do well with that. So I want you to think about what you're passionate about. If you don't know what you're passionate about, that's going to be one of your number one things I recommend, recommend that you do. And add that to your to-do list, actually. That's a good thing to add to a to-do list. What is my passion? Just really keep that in mind. What excites me? What lights me up? What lights your eyes up when you think about it, or when you see someone? Who and what lights your eyes up? And really, really think about that. What do you have fun doing? And then all of these little things that I'm kind of instructing you to do here and there, they change your state, which gets you your stuff that you want. But I really believe there's two ways to look at it, because I know there's another manifestation coach that just talks about mainly like, if you shift your state and you live from the end, your identity shifts, and that's all you have to do. You don't really have to focus on self-concept. And then others argue that you do need to focus on self-concept. I'm kind of in the middle on that. I think it's both. I think both work, but I think that living from the end is definitely number one. And then, but the thing is with humans, it's like we might shift our identity, but then we might have a trigger. So and then it takes your identity back to like the old identity almost. So it's kind of like, I feel there's truth to both. And I think that everything is a permission slip to be more of yourself. It gives you permission to, like, if you believe something works, it will work for you. So if you believe affirmations work and they help you shift your state to where you can then change your identity, then I think there's value in that. But you can also just live from the end too. So whatever you identify with, I think everybody's different. And I think that your manifestation routine, whatever you're doing during your day, it needs to be tailored to you individually and what works best for you and what resonates most. Because there's like, I think that if something resonates with you, there's definitely a reason for that. There's value there for you in particular. Whereas another person might be like, oh, I'm going to live from the end and that's all I need to do. And so they just go and do that. But for other people, it's really beneficial to find out what your belief systems are and create a solid self-concept as your foundation to build into the identity that you want to create. So I think everybody's different. And, but I will say, whatever you're saying to yourself during the day, wherever your thoughts are, really watch that, because what you're saying in secret will manifest out and you'll see it externally in some shape or form. It's very interesting. Try it out. Practice this. See how you feel. Get to know you. This whole game is about you. Like, this whole thing is just you. You're experiencing you. You're experiencing more of you through people and situations. And that's what's so neat about this. It's more of you. So get to know you so you can start loving you. And if you don't love you, we're going to keep working on that. And maybe you should start saying, it would be cool if I love myself. That would be kind of nice if I love myself. That might shift my life if I love myself. That might make me rich if I love myself. That might help me get the house or the spouse or the money or the job opportunity or the business success. That might get me all the things I'm wanting maybe if I start to love myself. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? So you just kind of think about that kind of stuff. Do those rampages that they say. Esther Hicks does the rampage of appreciation. And she just would focus on one thing and start going off about it. Man, that'd be so cool to have that. Oh my gosh, I love that. That is so neat. What could I do with that? That would be so fun. And how would that change me? And she just like goes off into this whole thing with different affirmations and things. So you can create your own rampage of appreciation about something and maybe start with yourself. All kinds of affirmations about yourself. I am this, I am this, I am this, I am this. And even if I don't believe this today, maybe I could start believing it. And what would that do for me if I started believing it? And how cool would that be if I actually really, really started to believe these things that I'm saying to myself that I do not believe right now? And just start practicing. This is all practice. And I'm practicing these videos, of course, with my sore lip up here. I couldn't not make a video, and I'm not going to wear a mask, although I guess I could have, and nobody really would have cared, but it isn't COVID anymore, so that might have been a little strange. But I had to make the video, and I wouldn't have been caught dead making a video, I'm sure, a year ago. Who knows? But this is me, again, being real and trying to show you that it's okay for you to be real too. It's okay for you to be yourself. It's okay for you to show up even when you're not ready, even when it's messy, because that's definitely what I'm doing. It's a little messy, but you keep showing up, because when you commit to yourself, like I did with this huge commitment of doing a video every day for 365 days, that's a huge commitment, because it's probably at least an hour a day. I mean, it's a pretty big commitment. And if I go out of town at some point, I'm still doing it. I'm bringing the laptop. I'm going to most likely bring the camera, and it's going to be done no matter what. So you just have to create your non-negotiables and make that internal contract with yourself. Your non-negotiable might be, I am no longer going to complain. So you commit to that. I committed to these videos. Have I had thoughts of, man, I don't want to do that today? A couple times I really have, because I was like, oh man, the tech, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to talk about today. And I've got to, and eventually I'm going to get more strategic, like I keep saying, just have more of a plan to where I'm not just, rambling about something, which I like to ramble, so it's fine, but I'd like to be a little more structured at times. And so, but yeah, it does take some planning and some time, and it takes, most importantly, mental bandwidth, and to actually, a mental load to create these things. Plus, my nervous system, I've had to train to feel safe on the camera. That was not something I was ever comfortable with. Was it something I wanted to get comfortable with? Yes. I've always wanted to get comfortable being able to talk on a camera, because I always thought, man, I might be good at that someday. if I practiced. And that was also the point of this too. And I wanted to show people that you can be yourself, be real. You do not have to have all these filters and all the, I mean, yes, have a light and all, you know, whatever else, but this is me, and I want you to know that it is safe to be you, and it is safe to be seen. You do not have to feel invisible. It's safe to just be yourself, and that you truly matter. And remember that. You might need to write that down. I matter. I truly matter. Write these things down, because, oh my gosh, there was something else. What was that? I took a note, or it was a video. I can't remember what it was. I know I have it somewhere. It was basically saying, oh, I can't remember what it's called. It was psycho something, where when you write something down, the physical act of writing it down basically trains your mind to actually believe what you're writing down. There was a name that I've never heard before. I need to find that. But writing we've always heard writing is very powerful. So just start writing these things down and read them every day to yourself, morning and night, noon as well if you can, on your lunch break. Read these things. Take them in. Instead of the other things that you might be consuming on YouTube or anywhere else, just kind of start like being with yourself and noticing when you're not being with yourself. And if you've got YouTube or something else on all the time and you check, really check yourself and make sure that you're not avoiding something that your body might be telling you, hey, we need to concentrate on this for a little bit. And so really just do those check-ins. And yeah, I think I'll leave you with that today. I think I've given you enough stuff to do. You got a lot of homework to do before our next session. You got a lot of homework. And you got like 24 hours to do it. So good luck with all that. Well, you enjoy this wonderful practice, and I'll be back tomorrow. You guys have a wonderful day or evening. And yeah, love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.